Donald Trump has revealed he has not been invited to May's wedding of Prince Harry to Meghan Markle, but the U.S. president dodged questions from TV inquisitor Piers Morgan on whether he was bothered about coming to the royal wedding. Mr. Trump replied, "Not that I know of." When asked if he has been given an invite to Windsor Castle St. George's Chapel, when asked if he wanted an invite, Mr. Trump simply said, "I want them to be happy. I really want them to be happy. They look like a lovely couple." Harry's nuptials with the American actress have captured the imagination of her compatriots and will be seen to strengthen the bond between the UK and the US, but Markle has been a vocal critic of former reality star Mr. Trump, backing his rival Hillary Clinton and suggesting before the 2016 election she would leave the US if he won. When Morgan pointed out she had labeled the billionaire divisive and a misogynist, he said, "Well, I still hope they're happy." Morgan also pressed the president on a social media habit, confirming he often tweets himself but will delegate if he is busy. He said, "Well, perhaps sometimes in bed, and perhaps sometimes at breakfast, or lunch, or whatever, but generally speaking, during the early morning or during the evening, I can do that, but if I'm very busy during the day and I'll sometimes just dictate out something really quickly, and I'll give it to one of my people to put it on." The president also offered hope that the U.S. could come back in from the cold after opting out of the Paris Accord on climate change, a decision that drew scorn from the international community and disappointment from Prime Minister Theresa May. He said, "The Paris Accord, for us, would have been a disaster. I'm completely out of it. First of all, it was a terrible deal for the United States. If they made a good deal, there's always a chance we'd get back, but it was a terrible deal for the United States. It was unfair to the United States. If somebody said, 'Go back into the Paris Accord,' it would have to be a completely different deal because we had a horrible deal. Would I go back in? Yeah, I'd go back in. As you know, I like Emmanuel Macron, French president. I would love to, but it's got to be a good deal for the United States." Mr. Trump also gave his views on climate change, saying he believes in clean air and good cleanliness generally. He said, "There is a cooling, and there's a heating. I mean, look, it used to not be climate change, it used to be global warming. That wasn't working too well because it was getting too cold all over the place. The ice caps were going to melt, they were going to be gone by now, but now they're setting records. They're at a record level." According to a NASA analysis in March last year, the sea ice levels in the Arctic reached the record lowest extent during winter, and in the same month the sea ice around Antarctica reached its lowest extent ever recorded by satellites at the end of the Southern Hemisphere summer. Thank you for watching.